Here we are at Long Mynd for a round of the 2024 BCC. There's a little bit more cloud in the sky than we would like, but hopefully it's looking like it will be a good day. Let's see how we go.
Like any good flying day starts, the first step was to wear out the dog, so he's happy to chill in the van for the day. Once he's ready, it's my turn. The day started off with a pleasant surprise. I was awarded a medal for my first ever cross-country flight in a BCC round back in 2021 when I was flying my Pioneer for a whopping 7.4 kilometre flight. I've certainly developed a little since then.
That's it, perfect mate. Just keep doing that, use that lift. Our first flight we both bombed out.
The British Club Challenge is a team event aimed at all levels of pilots where you try to get as much distance as you can with no set route. Flying at Long Mynd can be tricky as there's airspace to avoid as you head to the east. While the forecast was looking decent, the clouds said otherwise, so it was a slow start to the day with the briefing being delayed and a touch of drizzle in the air at times. A few pilots started soaring early, but it didn't look like a day to get off the hill quickly. I launched earlier than many at 12:50 with the plan of running up and down the ridge to sneak in a few kilometres before hopefully getting high and heading downwind to clock up some distance. But the sky didn't feel like it had the same plan for us all.
So I've slope landed at the south end of the ridge. Not ideal. Walking back up for another launch. He just did exactly what I did. So after a slope landing and a walk back up a hill, let's give it a round two. So we're back in the air, I bombed out, I've slope landed, I've walked up, and now I'm flying back along the ridge.
The day really wasn't looking great. No one was getting any real height, and everyone was bimbling about on the ridge, struggling to find any meaningful lift. I'd get a bit of height on the ridge, push forward to try and catch a thermal out the front, find nothing, run back to the ridge, rinse and repeat. Eventually a few small thermals started to bubble through, but as there was strong wind it was hard to commit to climbing in them without getting blown back over the ridge. Finally the sky turned on and a big group of pilots were sucked up towards a large line of clouds. Perhaps the forecast was right after all.
Just going to start heading downwind and see what happens. Currently going up at 3 meters a second. It's looking good. Just as this guy disappears into the clouds, I'll follow him.
A handful of us turned and flew downwind away from the ridge together and managed to follow a nice lifty line of clouds.
So now I'm up at cloud base after my third climb. There's about half a dozen of us here. Getting a bit too into this cloud for my liking. So I'm just going to head over this way and out of it. Pull some big ears to get me out of this cloud. That's more like it. Now let's get back under it and get back up there. Yee-hee! Back up to base. Going well up here, and maybe about 15 or 20 k's in, I'm not too sure. I'm above Telford at 1200 meters, which is nice. Life is good.
And it was a good day indeed. I spent a long time following a beautiful cloud street, mostly on glide and very occasionally needing to stop to top up if I felt a particularly strong bit of lift. At one point I was following my nose as I could smell smoke, a clear sign of a thermal as it's had to have gotten up here somehow. A few hours in, I spotted two other pilots, but never managed to catch them. I saw them land, but I was still near cloud base and wanted to eke out all that I could from the day, so I carried on past them. They probably had a sensible way home.
So I've just landed at Mayfield Football Club. Just found a nice football pitch to land in, which makes it nice and easy. I'm guessing I've flown about 80 k's. Now I've got to quickly pack up my glider and work out how the hell to get all the way back. Fun times.
The trip home did not come easy. As I worked out where I was, I started hiking along the road, but I quickly realized I had one chance to get a train back, or I wasn't going to make it back to the van before 8 AM the following morning. I took an Uber to Derby train station and made the train with 4 minutes to spare. So it was train after train after train.
I'm on train 3 of 3, and this is what you get on a Saturday night train going to Cardiff. This is half the fun of it. It's now 10:40 at night after a walk, an Uber, 3 trains. I'm now waiting for the last taxi to get me back to my van and my poor little dog, who luckily has been well looked after but will be very pleased to see me. Long old day. I flew 97.5 kilometers. Yeah, it's been an adventure. So it's 10 past 11. I've finally made it back to the van. Just taken the dog for a quick little walk. And that brings to a close a big old day at Long Mynd. Yeah, definitely my best flight from here ever. And I think I may have got the furthest out of everybody today. I'm not too sure. I'll have a look at how it's all gone in the morning. But yeah, amazing day out. Difficult conditions, but managed to scrape my way through. Sucked into a few clouds. Brilliant day.
I was pleasantly surprised to see that I'd pulled it off, with the biggest flight from the site for the day. The crowd went wild! I'm looking forward to the next round of the BCC coming up soon.